Hey guys, it's Wednesday, March 9th. According to the comments, everybody seemed to think that doing the back panel was a good idea, or at least didn't oppose it. So the main thing I got was I need to brace the car. So I have this ladder rack that's gonna do nothing but sit back here. That came with the house when I bought it. So I'm gonna cut it up into some pieces that I can make into using braces. Out here working on these braces. Just this one I have to space up a little bit. So this is one of my first attempts. I'll call this my first attempt. I don't want to show you my real first attempt at welding braces. But let me know if you have any feedback. This is after I wire brushed it a little bit. On the other side, I just put some tacks. I'm not so sure if this looks good or if it looks horrible, but let me know what you guys think. As far as the welder, I have it set up on D, just over 6. According to this chart here, I've got .025 wire, MIG welding, D7, and then CFH. I've got, well, it's hard to see that, around 12. Getting a little bit better. This is the other side, the other brace. This one I had 3 tacks evenly spaced, and I kind of just tacked gradually in between all the way down, and you can see the heat, how it kind of flares out. On the other side, I also had 3 evenly spaced tacks, and then I kind of just laid into it from the first tack all the way to the second tack, stopped for a second, and then laid into it the rest of the way down, so you could see the heat. Seems like it went out a little further. Almost got me. So here's the brace tacked in. I used a jack with a block to hold it up. A little more difficult to weld laying up under here than it was out behind the trunk. The halogen light over here kept activating the auto darkening on the helmet, so I had to keep adjusting the sensitivity. So here's my support system for the frame rails. I ground down the welds a little bit because I was a little embarrassed by them, but I hit everything with a hammer and it seems to be pretty solid. So I guess that's all that really matters. Sorry about the background noise. That's my wife pressure washing. Got my Quincy air compressor hooked up. Ran a sub panel out here. I also ran a 110 circuit because I had some issues tripping the original outlets to the garage. So I ran a conduit all the way down there. The 230 volt circuit is on a 30 amp breaker. Pretty happy with the compressor so far. I did install a check valve. I used all brass fittings, and then also it was recommended to put in a pressure relief valve. That one's 200 psi, and then I got a rapid air 3/4 inch regulator that can handle the 175 psi. So I already did the break-in, 1 hour with the valves open. And then I retorqued the head bolts. One thing I don't like though is you can't really get to these head bolts and these right here. So that's kind of a pain to torque those. But the first fill from empty with the valves closed took about 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So just wanted to document that so I can track that. I've installed some bracing. Got it right here. I welded it right here so I can get to the see if you can see that, the back of the welds, to brush some epoxy on them. And then up here I should be able to get to the back of the welds, because I believe I'm going to have to cut out that rust up there, so I believe I'm going to have to do all that, I believe, from the outside out here, so that's why I wasn't too worried about welding up here. And I can still kind of get to the back of those if I have to. So yeah, that weld right there is not so pretty, but getting a little better. Well, this is easier to get to, but not a whole lot of experience welding. I did make or build a utility trailer like over 10 years ago. That's about the extent of my welding experience. This bar wasn't long enough, so I pieced two together, and then I kind of just tacked it on here. It holds pretty good. I beat on it with a hammer and did a pull-up, so I think it's good. I already showed underneath the car for bracing the frame rails. Sorry, let me get out of here. So the purpose of this framing here, I guess, is to help from twist of the body when I remove a lot of the structure all in here. One other thing, wanted to thank Dwayne Whitaker. He's redoing a Nova, and he sent me this package, this stand for the subframe. He redid his subframe and offered it to me, so thanks, Dwayne. He sent it to me maybe a week or two ago, so appreciate that, and I'll talk to you guys later.